Hey guys, it's John from the Tossie Station once again. No, it's been a little while since I've done any videos. I've been trying to keep up with some of the comics and stuff like that were coming out. But today, what I wanted to do was a little overview slash review on the new comic that just came out. Actually, a little bit behind the game. It was a little over a week ago, and that is Star Wars Shattered Empire. This is basically going to be the walk into the Force Awakens when it comes out in December. I believe this is a four-issue series. You can see the cover right here. Actually, top it says "Journey to the Force," a journey to Star Wars: Force Awakens. Um, and you know what? I don't even want to start off on a bad term or anything like that. But the actual cover is not the cover I was expecting to come out. I mean, even though this cover is just fine, you can see everyone there: Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, Lando, um, droids, a couple of Ewoks. Wicket there, just celebrating after the Battle of Endor, which is very cool to see. But as we get into the video, I'll show you a couple other ones that I was kind of more expecting to come out. One with during like the space battle, stormtroopers, and you see the Falcon and everything. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But anyways, yeah, not to take away from the actual comic itself whatsoever, because I was super excited for it to come out. This being, I mean, we have the other Star Wars issues and so on going on, but this one leading right into the movie coming into December. And we don't even get a lot. I shouldn't say you don't get a lot, but it takes place, right during the ending of the Battle of Endor in Return of the Jedi. So it's cool, kind of cool to see a couple different little characters in there, and then you just finishing up with Luke and Darth Vader's lightsaber battle, right into the Death Star exploding. Not going to get into it too much. Let's just kind of jump in and we'll have a look at some different covers and go through. I'm just going to do kind of like page spreads instead of individual pages, so you can have a look at them. So let's dive right in. Okay, so here we see the cover I was just talking about. Nothing wrong with it, just wasn't not what I was expecting there. You see all the characters celebrating after the battle. Going into cover 2, this is what I was expecting. This one looks awesome. Death Star exploding, all the rebel ships who are left fleeing back to base. This one pretty awesome. I don't really understand, why, it would have to have the Emperor and Vader on there. It's still just a wicked cover, though. And then we see Vader being carried away by Luke at the end of the battle, loading onto the transport ship to escape the Death Star. So there's really not much better of a way to start a comic out with, besides a 2-page spread of the Battle of Endor going on. Luke and Vader deep in the midst of their lightsaber battle in front of the Emperor, of course. You see X-Wings, A-Wings, TIE Fighters, Death Star in the background. Even a little glimpse at the top there of Han and Chewie down on the forest floor during their battle. But just there's a lot to take in this first panel, and it just looks awesome. So on the next couple pages here, we're still amidst the Battle of Endor. Tons of ships around. We got TIE Fighters, the Falcon, Star Destroyers. You see the Death Star in the background. Even I believe the Super Star Destroyer there in one of the small panels on the right. This one character who we find out is Green 4, A-Wing pilot. I think she's going to have a little more significance than just being a regular pilot in the coming issues, I believe. And as she's flying around, dogfighting and such, she comes across the transport shuttle, which Luke is aboard, escaping the Death Star, and she actually moves in to intercept him. And then we see that Luke is radioing her frequently, telling her to abort her run, that it's a friendly aboard the ship, and she moves to actually escort him out of there. So over the next few pages, everyone gets back to their rebel ships, back to base. Everyone is celebrating, really not even understanding or how they got so lucky to win this battle. No one thought it was possible. We do see this Green 4, this woman walking around talking to her other squadron pilots, yeah, just congratulating them and saying how well everyone did. We're gonna go down to the forest floor in the next few pages, and this is more of the classic kind of view I find. This is the celebration down in Endor with all the Ewoks. You see a little bits of it, in Return of the Jedi, of course, with the fireworks going off in the background. Everyone's celebrating, playing the stormtrooper helmets as drums and stuff like that. Pretty funny. But you see Lando and Chewie, Han. He's telling him that he hurt the Falcon a little bit, that he lost the dish, and I'm assuming that's where we see, in the previews for the movie, the new dish, radar dish that's on the Falcon, the square one instead of the circle. So Han is, a little ticked about that, but it's really nothing serious. And then Green 4 comes back in to talk to them. They say, how great flying, how did you do it, so on and so on, and just congratulate her on the way. But she is looking for someone who we try to, we find out that's going to be somewhat of a love interest. So she goes off on her own, and she's looking for someone. Then we find out her name is Lieutenant Bay. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And she immediately turns and says, Sergeant Dameron, I've been looking for you. He asks her if he wants to go for a walk, and she says desperately wants to go for a walk. She wanted to make sure he was okay. Him being on the forest floor during the assault on the shield generator for the Death Star. So they go off on their own, making sure everyone's okay, enjoying the celebration. And then, kind of at the bottom right page, we see a little bit of their own fireworks on the go. And I'll kind of explain a little bit afterwards, after the video, and see just a couple of theories of what will be going on with that there. So in the next couple panels, it's the next morning. Then we see Dameron. I think I'm saying that correctly, but he's awoken abruptly. They need all their forces to regroup and get ready for another assault, which we find out down on the forest floor. There's still another, whether it's a battalion or another group of Imperials who basically they don't realize that they've lost. They're still holding a strong spot down on the forest floor, so they have to basically get together another ground assault to take the remaining Imperials out. Just before they get ready to go, Dameron's ready to go with the strike force, and then Lieutenant Bay offers her services as a pilot, and away they go. She didn't want him going alone, so they take off. They come in hot right into the Imperial base. Apparently, the Imperials were waiting for a counterattack signal, which I don't think was going to come because they didn't realize they had technically lost. So the Imperials come in, or the rebels come in hot to the Imperial base, and start a firefight. So in this last two-page spread, we see a nice ground battle initiating. A few ships around, lots of ground troops, stormtroopers. There was an AT-ST Walker who got destroyed almost immediately going in. But at the top of the pages, we see Dameron and Bay just talking back and forth. We should find a nice planet to settle down, build a house. And it's kind of a little bit of a foreshadow there, I think, because in the next page they're saying, okay, everyone into the base. Let's finish off these Imperials, as Bay watches Dameron go into the base with Han and Chewie. And it's like, okay, well, what's going to happen? Is he going to die or not? But on the last page here, we see Chewie, Han, and I believe it is Dameron there, so it's not exactly what I was expecting, but who knows in the next few issues. And she's watching him go away in the top right of the page there. They come across something, of course, with Han saying, it's not over yet. So little cliffhanger there, like what did they find in this base, which may be something of significance, in the related to the movie. So really kind of waiting on next month's issue. I hope it comes out next month to see what that was. Okay, so there we go. That's the first issue of Star Wars Shattered Empire. And like I said, it's nothing crazy is going on. It's just you're getting a really awesome overview of Battle of Endor, all the main characters that you love to see from Return of the Jedi. Finally, you get to see them again. And like I said, just kind of flipping through the pages, just starting with that cover. Like I said, I wasn't expecting just the regular cover. I showed you I think there was four covers in total. The second one with that I'm looking at now with the stormtrooper helmet, exploding Death Star, all that kind of stuff. That was what I was more expecting. They're all still awesome. Third one with the Emperor and Darth Vader. That's just an awesome cover. Although I don't really think it goes with what's happening, saying shattered empire as they're losing their power, and that whole issue or that cover with the Emperor looking so evil and Darth Vader. It's kind of, I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me, but it's still like an awesome cover. And then the third one, seeing Luke trying to take Vader away into the transport shuttle, even though he was already dead at that point in the movies, and he didn't have his helmet on. He still wanted to take him back so he could cremate him later, as we see those in the movies. Um, and then as for the love interest with Dameron and Bay, I hope I'm like I said, I hope I'm saying that correctly. One of the main characters we assume in Force Awakens is Poe Dameron, his X-wing fighter. So is this, his parents? Is this the night that he was, say, conceived, the Battle of Endor? Um, and then, like I said, a little bit of foreshadowing where he's doing the attack on the Imperial base, going into the base, and she's watching him um, leave right before they were saying, oh, let's settle down, find a nice planet, and build a house, and so on and so on. So, is she pregnant? Let's say with Poe at this point. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly the timeline, like say between the comics. Maybe if there's like a little bit of a gap in between issue 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the movie. Because in the movie, he's already well grown up, a pilot, and so on and so on. So we'll just have to wait and see how those kind of play out. And I'm pretty sure that this is going to be, a one issue a month series. I hope, anyways. They don't kind of stretch it out, but it will work right into the timeline. So that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to keep doing these, especially on Shattered Empire, where it's only a 4-issue series going right into the movie. So stay tuned for next time.